What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news, keep you up to date, and keep you informed with everything that the government does. Or at least we try to do everything. We can't always grab everything because, you know, I got a day job. I work 10 hours a freaking day, and then I come home and do this. So I can only do what I can do. You know what I'm saying? But I try to deliver what I can, and I try to get you some news that you're not going to hear from the mainstream. I do a little bit of counter-narrative also. You know, the mainstream media, they love to lie and they love to twist stuff around, and that's, you know, we cover all that stuff. So what's up, y'all? How the hell's your day going, by the way? I hope y'all having a pretty good day. We having a great day today, especially for me, because today is my Friday. I'm off tomorrow, so, you know, I get me a nice 3-day weekend. I get to chill out and maybe make some more content for the YouTube channel. You know, I've got a lot of new subscribers coming through. And you know what? We haven't talked about race in a while. And I've got some new subscribers. So we're going to go ahead and get into it because we got this story here from Baltimore. Yeah. We're not really talking about the bridge because, yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies going around about that bridge, and I really don't want to get into the weeds on that one, but we're going to talk about something the mayor of Baltimore said. Oh yeah, this one gets spicy. Check this out, y'all. Baltimore mayor says critics don't have the courage to say the N-word. Well, you know what? You're damn right they don't. Why would they want to? What are you talking about, dude? Why would somebody want to say and then get excised from society and excoriated the crap out of? Why would somebody want to do that? But check this out. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott has accused his critics of racism. Oh, imagine that. After many labeled him the DEI mayor following the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge earlier this week. The collapse occurred in the early hours of Tuesday morning after a cargo ship lost power and collided into the bridge. 6 people were presumed dead after the bridge fell. Now, I can say a lot of things about this. It looks like a cyber attack. It doesn't have anything to do with DEI. And I'm going to speak this to anybody out there that believes that the mayor somehow had control over this, or that Pete Buttigieg had some sort of control over this, right? It appears to me from all the evidence that it was a cyber attack, but it also appears to me, it's just as likely, I'm still, you know, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go on it, to be just an accident. You know, stuff happens. When was the last time a ship ran into a bridge and actually knocked it down? So, yeah, that doesn't happen a whole hell of a lot. So you figure with all the ships that go by bridges, eventually, you know, shit happens. Ships lose power a lot more than you would like to think. So the fact that this happened and people are blaming it on the mayor blows my freaking mind. That somehow DEI was responsible for this is absolutely absurd. Until I see some evidence that DEI was responsible for this, I'm going to stick with that position because logic dictates that the mayor, there's no way the mayor or DEI, considering the ship was based out of Singapore and they don't believe in that bullshit, that ridiculous equity and inclusion crap, that I don't know why these people are trying to push this stuff so hard, right? In a meritocracy, which is generally what capitalism is, right? You know, the better you are, the further you go. So it's all based upon individual work ethics and things like that. The more you put in, the more you get out. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do with gender, has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with individual responsibility and doing what you need to do to advance yourself in whatever career you go into. This story, though, is crazy. This guy's an absolute racist, from what I can tell. Soon after the collapse, social media users, including Utah State Rep. Phil Lyman and Florida congressional candidate Anthony Sabatini, attributed the tragedy to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Scott on Wednesday told MSNBC's Joy Reid that these attacks on his identity are rooted in racism. No. See, to me it sounds like, yeah, they're not attacking your identity necessarily. They're more or less attacking your
gender ideology, maybe. I've seen some of these posts. Okay, I'll put it that way. I've seen some of these posts, and these people are, Republican, Democrats, whatever. They're a little bit, because to blame this on DEI, you would have to take several leaps in logic to do this, right? Like, somebody please explain to me down in the comment section how the hell a mayor of a city would have any sort of control over this, and how, and to these people that believe it's a diversity hire, right? How would that affect a ship running into a bridge? Like, enlighten me, please. Let me know down in the comments, because I can't correlate that together at all. I can correlate a cyber attack, sure. I can correlate an accident because that's what it looks like. Did somebody screw up? Sure, that's a definite possibility. But, how can diversity play any sort of role in this? Like I said, the ship was based out of Singapore. So it just blows my mind the lengths some of these people will go to push their own viewpoints and just drop with the drop logic. Screw logic. Just throw logic right out the window and say, oh, this was a diversity hire, because there's a lot of backlash with DEI right now because, DEI is racist for one, and it doesn't make logical sense. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. What does that even mean, right? I mean, we have a very diverse population. I know what the thing is with diversity and equity, inclusion, and all this, that somebody got it in their right mind to make up for his history, essentially, and try to force people into positions that they're not necessarily qualified for. So what do? They drop safety standards on some of this stuff. They lower like test scores, other stuff like that. Stuff that they don't need to be doing just so they can have a minority in this certain position. To me, that's very racist. And also throws logic out the window, because why would you want to lower your safety standards and lower, standards all the way across the board just so you can hire a minority? That doesn't make any sense, y'all. How about you get with the community and help train some of these people to put some of these people into these positions? If it's some sort of disparity, how about make a law or make up some sort of incentive program to go into places where disparities are a factor in some of these situations and train some of these people at an early age. Go to some of the poor neighborhoods and put special programs in place just to hire people like this so they are qualified, instead of just lowering your standards. That doesn't make any sense. I know, and we know, and you know very well that black men, and young black men in particular, have been the boogeyman for those who are racist and think that only straight, wealthy, white men should have a say in anything the Baltimore mayor said. Now, you see what I mean by racist? Who says that? Let me know down in the comments who actually thinks that white, wealthy men are the only ones that can do anything. That is racist. That's rooted in racism. Your identity politics isn't going to work. It's just funny, too, because the Democrats, they're constantly screaming about race this and race that and identity politics and we need equality and all this other BS. And the Republicans are like, yeah, none of that matters. And then the Republicans get called the racists when we say, yeah, race doesn't matter. How much sense does that make, right? These people constantly yelling, screaming, all this. To me, what it sounds like? It sounds like this dude can't handle his position. He can't handle a little bit of criticism. Take some criticism and let it roll right off. You know what I mean? I've had people on here tell me I should quit, that I suck, that I don't know what I'm doing, don't know what I'm talking about. I read the news all day and give my opinion. So what do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? But I'm not getting into me, right? We're getting into this. Republicans around the nation have taken a stance against DEI, arguing it is a divisive concept that unfairly gives advantages to minorities. That is not true. That is not true whatsoever. The divisiveness of it is they have to lower standards to get some of these people hired. That's our problem with it. That's our main problem with it. And plus, the other practice of diversity, equity, inclusion is you're hiring specifically based upon race and gender ideology. Yeah, the Civil Rights Act bars us from doing that, but yet they do it anyway. Let's keep going. But Scott argued those blaming DEI for Tuesday's bridge collapse are ignoring that he was elected to office. What does that even mean? Why does he think that the people blaming DEI, what is going on with this guy? Ignoring that he was elected to office. I'm confused here. What does this guy actually mean by that? Blows my mind. We've been the boogeyman for them since the first day they brought us to this country. And what they mean by DEI, in my opinion, is duly elected incumbent, Scott said. Huh? Scott sounds kind of like an idiot. We know what they want to say, but they don't have the courage to say the N-word, and the fact I don't believe in their untruthful and wrong ideology. What, meritocracy? You don't believe in meritocracy. By the way, meritocracy is not an ideology. By the way, it is the Democrats, and you guys are the ones with this weird gender ideology BS that nobody buys into because it's divorced from reality. Nobody gives a damn that you claim to be a woman and you're a man. Nobody cares about that. We don't want you preaching that crap on our kids. Like I said yesterday, the default Republican stance, I'm not a Republican, but I'm a conservative. I'll put it that way. The default conservative stance is you leave me alone and don't touch my kids. What the hell does that have to do with your gender ideology? What the hell does that have to do with your race? Nothing whatsoever. He continued, and I am very proud of my heritage and who I am and where I come from. Scares them. Because me being at my position means that their way of thinking, their way of life of being comfortable while everyone else suffers is going to be at risk. And they should be afraid because that's my purpose in life. Huh? Scott, 39, began his political career in Baltimore as an intern before becoming a community liaison. He served on the city council before eventually being elected mayor in 2020, winning the mayorship with more than 70% of the vote. He has already announced his re-election campaign where he will face off against 16 other candidates. Now, okay, let's back up here just for a second, okay? Hang on. So this guy is trying to say that people are scared of him because of who he is and I guess his race, right? And that he's trying to blame racism on all this. Well, hang on. You got 70% of the vote and you're blaming racism. Please enlighten me as to how that works. This guy, he's sitting at the highest position you can get to in a city, and he's still saying, oh, my racism. No. Yeah, that's another argument from people all over the place. You know, you got Whoopi Goldberg doing all this. Oh, yeah, they trying to hold black people down, trying to hold us down. These people that skyrocket themselves to the top levels of all kinds of stuff, right? No, I'm sorry. You cannot complain about racism when you are at the top, right? Like Barack Obama talking about, oh, they holding us back, blah, blah, blah. No, dude. You're technically mixed, right? You're not black and you're not white. You're in between. But they considered you to be black. We voted in the first black president, right? And you're sitting at the highest position you can get in government in the United States, possibly the world, and you're still going to talk about racism and institutional racism. Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to incite a race wars. That's what it sounds like you're trying to do. Sounds like you're trying to pander to a bunch of people, to your own race, I guess. But, you know, instead of taking the default conservative position as, oh, we don't care if they're black, white, green, yellow, whatever, and then we get called racist because race doesn't matter to us. No, dude, come on. you people need to stop it with all this race crap, right? Like, I thought racism ended after the 90s, right? Like, the 90s was great. But, yeah, race tensions seem to be higher now than they were back then. I wonder why that is. Wonder how all these quote-unquote black people get to the positions, these such high positions, and then still claim there's racism in the country. I would love for somebody to explain that one to me. When they take up 13% of the population, yeah, there's going to be some disparities there, y'all. It just doesn't make sense to me. These people still, till this day, talking about racism as if racism rules their lives. And if it does, some of these people that are sitting on the top, how the hell did you get there? Through my racism? No. Stop it with all this race garbage, all this gender ideology crap. This identity politics is not going to work with people like me. That's for damn sure. I don't care what race you are. If you're a good candidate, I'm going to vote for you. If you believe in the same things I believe in, I'm going to vote for you. If I think that you can go to a corrupt system and change it and not be corrupt, I'm going to vote for you regardless of what you look like. You could be a man, a woman, a Z, a Zer, whatever. I really don't care. If you're the best candidate, that's what you're going to get. But it just seems to me, and let me know down in the comments if you have noticed this, that these people, they try to blame racism for their own failings, right? Something happens, they get some criticism, they can't handle the criticism, so they just start yelling about my racism. No, stuff doesn't work like that. If you got 70% of the vote and you're still thinking that people are racist, some of those people would have had to vote for you. Why do they not see this? But, like I said, I don't think these people, I don't think he can handle the criticism that's coming to him. Yeah, dude, look, this is my message straight to the mayor of Baltimore. Look, some people are crazy and are going to throw out crazy conspiracy theories. DEI is somehow the cause for a ship running into a bridge. I don't buy that, and I don't think you should take their criticism seriously. I think when you hear an outlandish claim like that, you should just brush it off instead of start yelling about race and all this other BS. Like, what? Come on, dude. We're better than that. You're better than that. You can be better than that. Stop with the race. Stop with the hate, because that's all that's doing is sowing hate. You're trying to raise race tensions when you should be trying to cool race tensions down, because the vast majority of Americans, let me know in the comments, don't care about race anymore. We don't care. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like I said, let me know in the comments what y'all think about all this. What do you give me your theories on how and why this ship crashed into this bridge. Let me know. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. I sure do appreciate it. Y'all try to have a good day and be positive. Peace.